This speech will be life-changing. I will walk out of here feeling like I made an impact on every single person in this room, however small that impact may be. What you just heard is the mind of an optimist. Not that I'm quite the optimist myself, but it isn't that hard to be one. For those of you who don't know, an optimist is someone who thinks positively, someone who looks on the brighter side of things rather than dwell on the negative. But is it good to always be optimistic, or would it be of more use to be realistic? Today, I hope to answer that question. Many people have drawn comparisons between pessimism and optimism, the extremes, the side of negative thoughts and the side of positive thoughts. I'll be weighing the pros and cons of thinking realistically versus thinking optimistically. Being optimistic has its benefits. It can help people to achieve goals that other people could not, simply because they thought it was possible and left no room for doubt. Let me give you an example. Steve Jobs, all of you know him. He used to give people tasks that were considered impossible. But in the end, because he worked so hard and believed so much in his ideas, he ended up changing the world. But here's the thing about optimism. Too much of it and you can get carried away. There's a fine line between optimism and delusion. Over-optimism can mislead you. To actually have an effect, optimism has to be paired with hard work. Just thinking positively isn't going to get you where you want to be. You have to put in the necessary effort for something to actually come out of it. While doing my research, I came across an article that said, optimism can help you recover more quickly from illnesses. Let's just picture this scenario for a second. Say you were suffering from an illness and you told yourself that you were going to get better, that you were going to recover. You are, in a way, persuading yourself to fight the illness, to not just let go and give up. Looking at that, optimism seems like something everyone should be aspiring for, something that can completely help and change with the mental and physical health of a person. However, on the other hand, just thinking positively isn't going to solve all of your problems. Using the same example as before, say you were sick and you told yourself that you were definitely going to get better. You were over-optimistic and told yourself that you were going to get better and then just lay back and did nothing about it, didn't take your prescribed medicines or some such. Obviously, it's going to be of no use. Studies show a link between successful people and optimism. But if you were to misjudge your success, it would be a major downfall. Let's say you were taking part in a competition. You've had a good look at all the other contestants and you've seen that they are all less skilled than you at whatever it is you're competing at. So being optimistic, you tell yourself that you're definitely going to win. Say you lost that competition. You are going to feel that much sadder about your loss. Now take the same situation, except this time you're thinking realistically. So you tell yourself that the odds are in your favor and that you have quite a good chance at securing a winning position, but only if you tried your best. Notice here that you've left room for doubt. If after this you lose the competition, your loss isn't going to be as harsh. So we've talked about the optimistic side. Let's switch over to the realistic side. Realistic people can be more motivated to change the world because they see all the bad things that are happening. Since optimists focus on the good things, they'll tend to block out these bad things and hence won't be able to solve them. On the other hand, realistic thinking can make you miss out on certain opportunities simply because you didn't think they were possible. So along with being realistic, you should be able to see these opportunities that other people will miss. Now the thing about reality is that everyone sees a different reality. I may think something is possible, however you may not. So when you tell someone to be realistic, they may not see something the way you perceive it. I think I've given you a fair enough idea of what being realistic and optimistic entails. So let's just get to the point of this entire speech. Which way of thinking is more beneficial in everyday situations? I mulled over that question for a few days and I came to this conclusion. Optimism, if taken too far, is harmful. But if you have a healthy dose of it, it can do wonders. And realistic thinking can help you handle situations well and solve problems. So what you need is a combination of both. Instead of looking at a situation one way, look at it both ways. So let's say you have exams coming up and you have to study 12 chapters in 4 days. And from past experience, you know that you can study 3 chapters a day. So realistically, you'll be able to finish the syllabus in the time that you have. But if you were optimistic and told yourself that you study 4 chapters the first and second day, you would have time to revise as well. Like I said, don't be too optimistic. If you tell yourself that you study all the chapters in one day, you just pile unnecessary stress on yourself and you probably won't end up learning the content very well either. So be realistic with a dash of optimism. Basically, push yourself but also know your limits. Thank you.